Hey guys, it's Sergey here, and today's video is on 5 more of the best detailing products you could buy. Now, some of you may have seen my previous video on my top 5 detailing products, so when combined with this video, this is my top 10 which many of you have asked for. Now, just like the previous video, this was no easy task in selecting these final 5 as there's just so many more detailing products I truly love and could have certainly made this list. But the main question I asked myself in making these selections was which products would I miss the most if they suddenly disappeared, and which truly qualify for that legendary status. I hope you guys find this video helpful, and let's get to it. Number 1. Carpro Essence. What is it? According to the brand, it's an innovative finishing car polish with a variety of roles, which include removing light to medium paint defects, filling in micro marring, leaving behind a protective layer, increasing gloss, and providing an improved bond to ceramic coatings that can be layered over it. So let's start with the cons. Firstly, Essence does have quite a mild cutting ability, so it's typically not going to remove severe defects, especially on harder paint types. Secondly, there are some specific ceramic coatings that don't advise using Essence or really any all-in-one primer polish prior to applying the ceramic coatings. So then, what are the pros? Where Carpro Essence makes the most sense and where I typically use it is mostly on softer and more sensitive paint types prior to applying a ceramic coating. Why? Because after a few hours, its resins create a hardened and slick protective layer that massively reduces the likelihood of creating wiping swirls during the ceramic coating application. Secondly, out of all the primer polishes I've tested, Essence has proven to be the best finishing one in terms of increased gloss, saturation and clarity, once again, especially on those softer and more sensitive paint types. Thirdly, many softer paints really dislike IPA or panel wipes in general, as they can cause hazing, chemical etchings and wiping swirls. Essence doesn't require an IPA wipe after its use, as it contains a primer that adheres to coatings. But even if you wish to do an IPA wipe after its use, it once again tends to prevent hazing or wiping swirls due to its protective sealant barrier. Fourthly, based on my own testing, Essence not only works great with creating a strong bond with many different ceramic coatings, but also works equally well with car waxes and sealants applied over it. Fifthly, as long as you don't overwork it or use it on hot panels, Essence is very low dusting, has an easy wipe off, and just a generally beautiful user experience. Lastly, if you've ever had issues with water spots or etchings resurfacing after you've removed them during polishing and coating a vehicle, Essence in my experience can prevent those mineral deposits from resurfacing. Overall, Essence just shines as an unbelievably versatile high-gloss all-in-one primer polish with so many benefits that can address so many problematic issues that just make it one of the best detailing products ever produced. Number 2. Solution Finish. What is it? According to the brand, it restores originally black weathered and faded plastic and rubber trims back to a deep, rich black finish without that wet look. It dries quickly with no greasy residue and provides a spectacular, long-lasting black protective finish. So then, what are the cons? Like many dye or paint trim restorers, it can sometimes be messy to use. In my experience, Solution Finish does need to stay dry for about 24 hours after use to prevent any runoff, and making sure to thoroughly strip down and clean the surface prior to use is vital for a successful application and result. So then, what are the pros? Before Solution Finish entered the market some 10 years ago, most car trim restorers of this nature were horribly messy to use, near impossible to finish evenly without streaks, had very short-lived results, and looked average at best. In other words, Solution Finish was the first truly great and truly effective black trim restorer that changed the game in this segment. Secondly, although many trim dressings and coatings are all that's required for just lightly faded trims, Solution Finish has very little limitations in restoring the most badly faded and weathered car trims to an almost like new appearance that goes beyond what most typical trim or coatings can achieve in this area. Thirdly, if you've ever been faced with old, caked on or fused compound and wax residue around plastic or rubber trims that's near impossible to remove, Solution Finish can be the best way to deal with that residue and restore those trims back to a factory-like new appearance. Fourthly, it does last. In my own personal experience, when both the preparation and application has been done to a high standard, I've had trims restored with Solution Finish last many years, and you can absolutely further top it with a protective sealant or ceramic coating to extend its life even further. Fifthly, unlike many other trim restorers, Solution Finish doesn't leave a glossy, shiny or greasy finish. It looks factory matte to satin on most trims it's applied to, creating an OEM-like finish. Since Solution Finish first came out, there has certainly been other great trim restorers enter the market thereafter, but even a decade on, it's still arguably the original and the best. Number 3. NV Nova Boost version 2. What is it? According to the brand, the new Boost V2 goes beyond the original formula, creating a revolutionary quick detailer that rejuvenates the paintwork with exceptional levels of gloss, water behavior and slickness while adding additional levels of protection. So what are the cons? Firstly, although Boost V2 is quite cheap here in Australia where it's made, it tends to be more expensive in overseas markets. Secondly, if you are after a less durable, lighter quick detailer that breaks down quicker after each wash, it may not be the best choice as it does tend to last longer than more typical quick detailers, but I'll expand on that a little more. So then, what are the pros? Firstly, it's important to understand that the new Boost V2 doesn't share any DNA from the original Boost. It's a ground up, all new formulation. And for those of you that are fans of both Nova Jet and Nova Luster, the easiest way to describe Boost V2 is as the child of Nova Jet and Luster, pretty much being a middle ground of the two in terms of its characteristics. Secondly, Boost V2 is described as a quick detailer because it is very quick and easy to apply even compared to Nova Jet and Luster, and also makes a great drying aid with its fantastic lubrication. And if you do use it very sparingly or even mixed with standing water or a damp cloth, it does qualify as a more typical quick detailer. However, unlike Jet, Luster and many other spray coatings, Boost V2 can actually benefit in terms of its performance, durability and looks if you do apply it more liberally. So using a few more sprays in each section does, in my experience, increase its overall performance, and it is in fact NV's most durable spray sealant when used in this manner. Thirdly, what makes it such a fantastic new spray coating in my opinion is that it does everything extremely well. So although Nova Jet may still be a touch more hydrophobic, Boost V2 is very close, and although Luster will still beat it in terms of slickness and gloss, it's also fantastic in those areas. But as mentioned, Boost V2 does win comfortably in terms of durability and chemical resistance when it's applied more liberally, and is also a winner in terms of its starkness or saturation, is easier and quicker to apply, and is surprisingly the cheapest of the Nova spray coatings. NV is an Australian-owned brand with a relatively small range that doesn't frequently release new products, but when it does, they do tend to be quite outstanding, and Nova Boost V2 is no exception. Number 4, Scholl Concepts S20 Black. What is it? According to the brand, it's perhaps the most versatile compound you will ever come across, with the ability to cut and finish in a single step on both hard and soft paints alike, having no fillers and providing an easy wipe off. So what are the cons? On extremely hard paints with severe defects, it may struggle to remove a significant amount of the defects. S20 Black does tend to have a quick working cycle, so it can easily be overworked, which can lead to increased dusting. I also know that in certain parts of the world, it can be hard to get a hold of and be expensive. So what are the pros? First and foremost, S20's greatest strength is its ability to match a good level of cut to an amazing level of finish on many softer and more sensitive paint types. That's what really separates it from most other medium or one-step compounds. Its class-leading finishing quality. Secondly, it works extremely fast, meaning that it cycles from its cutting to finishing stages rapidly, which can greatly increase productivity. Thirdly, like most quality compounds, it is very adaptable, meaning it can be used on both rotary and dual action machines with a variety of techniques on a variety of foam, microfiber and wool pads to address many diverse paint types and defects. In fact, even as a hand polish, it's one of the best on the market. There's honestly so much more I could say about S20 Black, but I think the easiest way to express how much I truly appreciate this compound is to state the fact that since its release about a decade ago, I've used it more than any other compound in the market, which I think says it all. Number 5. The Economax Aero Clay Cloth. What is it? According to the brand, it offers a new style of car paint and trim decontamination, making the whole process easier, quicker and safer, lifting surface contaminants, ensuring your paintwork is smooth and well prepared. So what are the cons? Like most forms of synthetic clay, it can be a little less precise than traditional clay bars, especially in more intricate areas. Also, if used more aggressively with bad technique, like all synthetic clay, it does have the ability to create increased marring. Lastly, it tends to sell out quickly and is hard to get a hold of, especially overseas. I have finally found a seller in the US who stocks it. It's not an affiliated link, but I'll have it listed in the description box, and my advice is to get it quickly as it will almost certainly sell out. So then, what are the pros? Out of all the synthetic clay towels, mitts, pads and blocks I've used in the past, which is a lot, the Aero is without a doubt the least aggressive one in terms of clay marring and swirls left in the finish, and that's even compared to some traditional clay bars, as it's been just as gentle, if not more, which I think is due to its perforated design that since its release has now slowly started to become the new standard. Secondly, it works super quick, perhaps twice as fast as most other synthetic clay on the market, and up to 3 to 4 times faster than using traditional clay, which makes it extremely efficient and cost-saving. Thirdly, it pretty much lasts indefinitely. In fact, I still have the first Aero clay cloth I got about 4 years ago, and it looks and performs almost like new. So as long as you look after it, it's potentially a one-time purchase, making its value outstanding. Fourthly, unlike traditional clay, you can drop it, rinse it and keep going, and also use it with stronger claying decontamination chemicals without harming it, making it far more versatile and less problematic. Unfortunately, not all clay, whether it's traditional or synthetic, is created equal, even when on the surface it pretty much looks identical. The Aero is just a fantastic clay towel that I just can't recommend enough and will not disappoint. I'm going to break protocol here and add one final bonus product because I just love it so much and I felt it had to be included here, which is the Carpro Dab Dab Wash Mitt. I'll keep it brief, but the reason I love this car wash mitt so much really comes down to its inner foam core. Now when it's dry, it feels like almost any other foam you'd find in a typical wash mitt, but as soon as you dunk it into your wash bucket and get it wet and start using it, the foam transforms into a very soft but almost memory-like foam, yet still a little different. In a nutshell, it just conforms to the curves and crevices of your car better than any other wash mitt I've used. Seems to make better contact with less pressure and cleans not only more effectively but also more gently. I can also add that I've had 2 of these wash mitts at work and 1 at home for the last 2.5 years, and they've held up extremely well. So let's wrap up this video. I think for now this will be the final video in this 3-part best and worst detail and product series, which whether you agree or disagree with me, I hope was still helpful and interesting to watch. But I may revisit this category down the track. For me, a truly great product has to pay its dues and pass the test of time. It doesn't mean a brand new product can't be very good, but greatness doesn't come about due to a viral moment or a consensus amongst elites giving it the nod of approval. No, greatness has a higher bar to overcome that only comes with the truth being revealed and confirmed in due time. I'll leave it there guys, and if you enjoyed this video and would like to say thanks and help support future content, you can do so by buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/ccad, in which I'll leave a link to in the description box, or you can now also hit the thanks button below the video. And thank you everyone for all the support so far. As always, I really hope you guys enjoyed and found this video helpful. Please share it with others, give it a like and comment below to show support for this content, and I'll see you guys soon.